won't stop the madness. The only reason I'm singing is because we're stuck with this stupid song, you know? I've spent my whole life praying just the opposite. I've been praying, God, stop the madness, stop the chaos, make things easy. But you know, when I look back in my life, it's rarely the easy times that God's doing good work in my heart. It's almost like every time everything's falling apart, that's when He's really up to something. And I'm like, God, change my circumstances. And He always looks back at me. He's like, bro, it's not your circumstances that needs to change. It's you. Just trust that whatever I let you go through, I'm working all things together for good for those who love me, who've been called according to my good purpose. I don't get it, you guys. I don't get why that's the case, but I know that it's true. It's the only reason I'm standing on this stage. When I was 17, you know how I started playing guitar? I got thrown out of a car. Not by the mob or anything. I got in an accident. 17, my buddy was driving us back to school and he flipped the car. Going 50 miles an hour, we flipped it 6 times. And I got thrown out like Peter Pan style, just like... And I hit the pavement so hard that I broke my back in 2 places. I broke my skull right here. 96 stitches holding my ear back on. Some of you guys can still see the scar right here. I got scars all through here. That's why I wear my hair long, so get off my back, church lady. Jesus had long hair, and so will I. But you know, I broke my back, and so the doctors told my parents, they're like, hey, you need to brace yourself for the worst because we don't think he's going to make it out of here alive. And, well, then I made it through the night, and the doctors, they said, oh, well, I guess he's going to make it, but he's never going to walk again. And then I walked again. So they're like, well, he's never going to run. He's never going to make a full recovery. And then I did. So they're like, I guess God's got different plans for this guy. Although my sister still insists that I have brain damage. But you know, I still had to lay on my back for 2 months while my back healed. And laying there, it could have been real easy, you guys. It could have been real easy for me to point my finger up at heaven and say, are you serious? I follow you, I trust you, I pray to you, I obey you, and this is how you repay me? This is the hand that I've been dealt? Some loving God you are. I didn't say that though, you know what I said? I'm on drugs! Dude, they had me on some serious pain meds, you guys. I'm talking, I thought I saw Puff the Magic Dragon as my nurse. Like, you're a dragon? You know, I finally got off the pain meds. I could deal with the pain, you know, after a couple weeks. And I was still laying there, bored out of my mind. And so I remember ringing my little bell. Hey, give me some food, Mom. And while you're at it, could you bring me a guitar? A guitar? Yeah. I thought I should learn a hobby. And so that Christmas, my parents first put a guitar in my hands. And out of my brokenness, I learned to sing a song of God's faithfulness. That's how I started. I hesitate to even share that story because some of you, that just ticks you off even more. Because you look at me and you go, that's not fair. I did all the same things. I trusted, I prayed, I believed, and my story didn't work out like that. And some people would say, well, it's because you don't have enough faith. I wouldn't say that. Jesus said you need faith the size of a mustard seed, right? Last time I checked, that's pretty itty-bitty. So I gotta think, it's not how much faith we have, it's who our faith is in that is important. And when you look at Jesus, don't look at my story. You know know what you need to look at? Whatever you're going through, even if it feels like God's not going to work it out, even if it feels like He's let you stay in the darkness or in the storm too long, fix your eyes on Jesus. Fix your eyes on the cross. You know what the cross is? The cross is the evidence that our hearts and our weary souls need in this broken, bleeding world. It's the evidence that we need that our God is a God who brings beauty out of pain. It's the evidence that our souls long for, to believe maybe, just maybe, God's going to bring something beautiful about all this ugliness. It's the evidence that our God brings life out of death. And if He can do that out of His own sons, then just imagine what He can do with you and me. And whatever you're going through, whatever crucifixion God has you walking, I pray you'd be convinced tonight that redemption is waiting in the wings if we just hold on.